Hello and welcome to my car. Don't worry, I'm not driving. Today we're going to be talking about this Hitched blog article called 32 Questions to Ask Your Wedding Photographer and why some of it is pretty problematic. Now, this may be a two-parter because it's quite long, but it's really, really important. I'm going to go through everything they go through and why some things you should ask your photographer and some things you absolutely shouldn't, and why. So if you are a couple looking to plan your wedding at the moment or a photographer just interested, then listen up. So firstly, there's generally advising you to contact a photographer before you book them via Zoom. I actually agree with this. I think that's really good. You need to kind of have a rapport with your photographer and you need to connect with them. If you don't, you may not find the day going smoothly. It should be fine, but you just want to have a real connection with your photographer. That's really, really important. As they've said here, you'll be spending 8+ hours of your life with them, so you need to be able to communicate well with them. So that's a good start. Apparently, they've also turned this list into a PDF printout to take with you to meetings. Oh my God, that would be a bit scary if I met some clients and they brought that with them, but hey, whatever. So question number 1, the basics. Do you have my date available? Obvious question. Yes, obviously check with them first if they've got your day available. Now, at the moment, it says they can get booked up 12 to 18 months in advance. That is usually correct. However, at the moment, because of COVID and the cost of living crisis, a lot of weddings are being booked last minute. So don't worry. Just even if your wedding is like in a couple of weeks away, if you've got a favourite photographer, just ask them because you never know. They may have that availability. Number 2, how long have you been working as a wedding photographer? Now, basically, they're saying, obviously, you need a photographer with experience, which I will agree with. However, they have put at the bottom, it doesn't mean you can't choose someone who's new. You just know that you get what you pay for. Generally speaking, that is true, but you may find a diamond in the rough. If you are on a budget, though, it doesn't mean that if someone's really cheap, they're bad. It just might mean they're starting out. So just get that communication going. If you want to get a deal, then go with someone who's starting out, and then you can get a good deal there. Just make sure to not have your expectations too high just in case, but it should be fine. Everyone's got to start somewhere and everyone's got a budget. Now, this one's a really weird one, number 3. How many weddings do you shoot a year? I don't think that's really necessary, but they do make some interesting points. They're basically saying, don't dismiss a full-time photographer, but it may affect the editing time. Now, I do have a full-time job as a photographer in another industry. I do real estate photography, and I also have a 1-year-old. So my editing time is limited, I'll be honest. But it doesn't mean that it takes me months and months and months to get your photos back. I still do it within a 4-week turnaround. Just check with every photographer what their turnaround is. It will be in their contract, regardless of whether they are full-time or part-time. It honestly doesn't make a difference. The majority of people, I would say on average, will get your photos edited within 6 weeks, but a lot of people are quicker than that. Make sure to watch for part 2 because these questions get a little weird.